Weathered hands lead you to rest.
So the song Watchman comes from a story in my life where, unfortunately, a student of mine decided to take her own life. And I remember at the time being really frustrated and saddened. You know, for the first 4 to 6 weeks, it felt like everybody was sharing their love and support for the family, and also sharing these stories and memories of these events in this amazing young woman's life. And after a month or 6 weeks, it just kind of felt like things were kind of fading, and it eventually felt like this person just didn't exist anymore to the world, outside of her closest friends and family. And I remember feeling like this was just such a wrong thing, that somebody could just be forgotten like that. And I felt like I had to write a song about it, but at the time I didn't know how to say it in a way that hadn't been said before. It's a common topic to write songs about, and it's been said 1,000 ways, and trying to find it in a unique way was really difficult. And a few years ago, I was in Augusta, Georgia, of all places, in a cemetery, because some work colleagues wanted to go look at a cemetery for fun. It was kind of weird, but I was standing there in this cemetery, and I remember walking and looking at all these different headstones, and some of them were from the 1800s, and I could still read the names on the headstones and read these brief stories of the people that were there. And so that kind of was the inspiration for the song. The idea that basically, even though the world might forget who we are, that our headstones kind of bear our name and share our story throughout hundreds of years potentially. And so the song is written from the perspective of the headstone, basically saying, I'm going to be here, with you, basically until the ground takes me. I'm going to be here, for the rest of eternity if the world lets me, basically.
So for me personally, Watchman kind of takes on a different meaning. The song takes place from the perspective of the tombstone, and the lyrics personify the tombstone. And I've been around long enough to have seen young deaths happen. There was a girl at my high school that committed suicide, and it was kind of the same outcome. It was 4 to 6 weeks, and it was really big, and it was on everybody's mind. And then it kind of ceased to exist. It was like she was never there almost. And it bugged me to that extent where I was like, something needs to be done, something needs to be said. So this song means a lot to me personally, but for me the meaning is slightly different. It's the fact that we should be each other's watchmen, that we should take the place of the tombstone. I know at certain points in my life I've been in a dark place and wanted to not make it out or not wake up in the morning because it felt like it was going to be easier. And the line that I say at the end of the song really hits home for me, and it's, no longer will you suffer alone. And I like that line a lot because even when I was feeling like I was suffering the most, I know that I wasn't suffering by myself.
Yeah, and I definitely would encourage anybody who's in that place, who's feeling like maybe life isn't worth living, to seek help. And I know that's kind of a cliche thing to say in word, but I think sometimes we really don't reach out when we should, and whether that's because we don't want to be a burden on somebody else. I'll tell you from personal experience that there are people alive today, even in my own life, who took the time to ask for help. Suicide, it's a permanent solution to a temporary problem. The things that you're going through might seem, like there's no end to them, but I promise you that there can be an end to them. And in the bottom of our video notes here, we'll include some resources for help, whether that's the suicide hotline, or I know that Jake from August Burns Red has a group called Heart Support. And I would just, again, encourage anybody, if that's the place that you're in, you're feeling like life isn't worth living. I don't want to, see anybody else make that decision. And I'd much rather that this song or this video even just gets you with somebody who can help you out.
Put